This guy is the greatest hitter of all time. It's not even an argument. This guy, if you look at his average,
I wouldn't say the greatest.
Well, I think he's the greatest hitter of all time. He averaged 2 hits a game, and when you look at it, how many players could you remember average 2 hits a game? How many?
Trust me, I'm a baseball historian.
I am too. You think I don't know anything? You think I don't know anything about baseball?
I am a Pete Rose. Like, I think he should be in 100%, but I don't think he's the best hitter in what he's done.
Okay, and we can.
There's 3 in the category. And there's not very many.
I know you're going to say Ted Williams because everybody's going to put Ted Williams and probably Joe DiMaggio, right?
Ted is honorable mention, but it's going to be Tony Gwynn, Ichiro, and Pete Rose. That's literally what it's going to be. Because you look at, and we can go back, look at Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra had 600 at-bats and only struck out 8 times. Like, we can go back and look at that. And I'm a baseball historian. So when we get into baseball, we're going to have an argument.
That's fine.
Because I love baseball.
That's fine. And again, you can go back and forth and say that Tony Gwynn was one of the greatest hitters of all time. I would put Ted Williams. I also put Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio was a great hitter.
No, if
that's
you look
just
at his numbers. No,
that's fine.
His hit streak, yes, understandable. But if you look at his numbers, no, they weren't great compared to those guys.
Okay,
no.
So if you look at Tony Gwynn, 9,288 at bats to Pete Rose's 14,053. Now, if Tony Gwynn had just as many at bats, does he break Pete Rose's record? I would believe not. Okay, I don't even think he comes close to it. You forget Derek Jeter and what he did. Derek Jeter was a great hitter too. If you look at what he did as long as he did in baseball, the consistency and the ability, the way he hit the ball. I mean, how many players hit as many times had as many hits as Derek Jeter did? Yeah. He's the best hitter in baseball history. I don't care what you say, Java. So
Ichiro's up there too.
Ichiro is not. He's not Pete Rose.
Get out of here.
He is not Pete Rose. He's not Tony Gwynn. First of all, Pete Rose is the greatest hitter of all time. I don't want to hear any argument to it. He is the greatest hitter of all time. If you look at the average amount of bats and you compare even Ichiro, first of all, he played in less games and stuff like that in the major leagues, and he was over there in Japan. I don't compare Japan to the major leagues. So everybody says, well, if he played in the majors before that, he would have broken Pete Rose.
Come over here. Yeah, they're great pitchers.
Pete Rose is the greatest hitter of all time. He should have been in the Hall of Fame in the 70s.
There's 1A and 1B.
And I don't even think it's an even argument. I don't even think you can even argue it. I think Pete Rose is the greatest.
He has more hits total.
Ichiro does have more hits total. Yes, on 2 continents, which is pretty dope to say. He could be a hits king on 2, but there's only one hits king. It's Pete Rose, but Ichiro's up there too.
I didn't say that he isn't. He's just not Pete Rose.
That's why I say 1A, 1B.
Yeah,
I think he's the greatest. I think he's the greatest hitter of all time.
2 different styles of hitting, and pitching has gotten better.
Did you ever face Ichiro?
I don't know if I did in spring training or not. I might have.
I did. It was freaking miserable.
I bet. I did face Arias though.
Well, that's true too.
And he don't punch out very often. Yeah, but I think I got him in the book.
And I love Kev in this aspect because he agrees on that. But like I said, it's 1A, 1B. Like because obviously Ichiro had over 1,300 hits, obviously in Japan, and then have over 3,000 hits. And mind you, he won an MVP. I don't think he should have won Rookie of the Year because I'm like, you played professional.
Run Rookie of the Year 40.
You guys don't understand how good Japanese baseball is because they didn't have it at that time to come here until they had that process of what we've created between Japan and us. So he didn't even have that chance. And so he goes and gets 3,000 hits here. He had 13 over there, and he was just being a monster. And then comes over here, and I get what Pete Rose did, and I am a baseball historian, and I love Charlie Hustle. And I get it. But at the same time, you can't say he's the best hitter ever because Tony Gwynn has to be in the conversation. Rod Carew has in the conversation, and all these other guys.
I'm looking at what he did, and I look at his numbers, and he is the greatest hitter of all time. And that's he should have been in the Hall of Fame the day he retired. He is the best hitter in Major League history. And the fact that baseball kept him out as long as they did, that has something to do with Bud Selig being the personality he is and the face of what he has created when it comes to baseball. He's in the Hall of Fame. Why is Bud Selig in the Hall of Fame and Pete Rose isn't? Bud Selig went right into the Hall of Fame when he became eligible, and Pete Rose isn't.
You also can't discredit Ty Cobb. Okay, Ty Cobb hit 366 with 4,189 hits. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you also
know how miserable of a human being Ty Cobb was.
Well, it's his numbers. I don't care how
league wasn't integrated back then as well.
Right.
Much smaller league. They were probably throwing 85 to 90 at best.
Doesn't matter.